Mess my tarp up now. No. Good morning, welcome to the broadcast. Today it's the Todd and Orville Road Show. As y'all just saw, we dropped off our last load of brush and cherry wood that we loaded up yesterday evening. We did not make it by our dump site before they closed up, so that was our first stop for this morning, and we're going to definitely finish up this little job today. It's on the north side of Asheville. Our trailer is on the east side in Black Mountain. So instead of going all the way on one side of town just to load up half a load and then go dump and waste time going to get the trailer, we're kind of tight on time. So we're gonna go ahead and go get the trailer, and then we'll go load up the brush. And just depending on how much weight I think I've got in the truck, I could go ahead and just load the excavator and haul everything to the next site, because we've got to clean up a bunch of fallen trees there as well. So I don't want to just, if it's not too much weight, you don't want to be running around wasting fuel on time. So we'll get the trailer, haul it up there. We've got a pretty fun, exciting job coming up. I've got a customer of mine who has worked me many times on his property. He's wanting a bridge put in across his creek. The creek is about 30 to 40 feet wide. So he bought like a semi flatbed trailer. They took the tandems off of it, and the guy that was supposed to install it keeps procrastinating on it and not getting the job done. So I've gotten talked into doing it. I know I can do it. It's just I explained to him that I've never done anything like that before. Not to say I'm not excited to do it and get it done. I told him I didn't know how long it was going to take, or if my machine would even lift it, so I may have to rent a machine. Going to be some figuring it out as we go, and he's okay with that. I'm going to be working by the day as usual. I told him I'm going to start my time when I leave the house, and then just whatever it works out to be, it works out to be. I think it's going to take me between 5 and 6 working days. That's my think. I told him, I gave him a price that if it came in at 8 days, this is what it's going to be. That's what I felt like would be a extra cushion. But if it goes over 8 days, I'm gonna get paid for it. So it's about as good of a scenario for something that I've never done before. He knows that I don't, waste time, and that I get in there and I work as fast as I can. So he doesn't have any worry about me charging for time that I don't put in. I'm very excited about it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, challenging. I'm going to have to put some, I used to own a tree service, so I think what we're going to do on that one is rig a block in a tree up high across the creek, tie it in to the bed of the trailer, and just pull it across. May not go that smoothly, but that's my initial thought. So for today, we're going to essentially finish this job up and move the excavator to our next job. Hopefully get it, a pretty good bit cleaned up on that one. We're going to end up needing to get us a different chainsaw here before long. I let one of my buddies take my big saw that I used to have. He used to work with me on the tree work, and he put a lot of work in, and he always worked fairly. And when I decided to get out of doing, tree work, climbing and everything, I just told him to hold on to it, because I didn't know. I knew that he would use it more than me, and he earned it. So essentially, I gifted it to him. But now we're getting into having some calls on jobs where they're pretty big cuts. We're going to need to get a big saw again. So I think I had a MS 361, somewhere around there. I'm thinking about just going ahead and getting a 660 this time, because if I do cut, if it's smaller, I can use my little top handle saw. But it seems like around here, you're either cutting really small stuff or pretty big things. So you guys throw in the comments there your favorite saws. If you like Husqvarna, that's great. I'd love to hear your experiences, but I can guarantee I'm not going to buy a Husky, because I've never had any good luck with them. A lot of people swear by them and love them, and I'm sure they are good saws, but me and Husky just don't get along. It'll definitely be a Stihl. I've had nothing but good service out of Stihl equipment. But likewise, some of you may have had bad luck with steel. You know, it's how it goes. There's good and bad and everything mechanical. Just depends on the luck you've got. But I've got the steel blower, I had a steel pole saw, several chainsaws, and they've never disappointed me. They've never ever disappointed me. They all do good in cold weather starts. So we're going to get the trailer here, and we'll see you guys up at the job site. All right, so I was kind of keeping track of all that stuff we were putting in the bed. Put our tarp out here. I'd say less than 1,000 pounds of brush and a little bit of wood. So we're probably, as far as cargo, between excavator and the load in the bed of the truck, we're probably around 22,000 pounds. So I think we're well within what we can haul. We'll just go all the way down off the mountain here in first gear. Most places I won't even have to hit the brakes. The exhaust brake and the engine will hold us back just fine. Won't get in any hurries. Won't have to worry about overheating our brakes. When I'm empty, I run my brake controller on about 16 if I've got the with the trailer. With the excavator, it really varies. You know, that's the bad thing about electric brakes is you gotta get going down the road, and it's almost like you're constantly having to turn them up, turn them down, turn them up, turn them down. That's why I'm looking forward to getting an air brake trailer. So there'll be some videos on that search before too long. Yeah, that's not too bad heavy at all. The electric brakes are better than no brakes, I can guarantee that. It's definitely going to be some weight coming down off of here. But no big deal. So our day that was busy in our coming weeks, essentially right now we're booked 3 weeks, but it's a very solid, busy 3 weeks, and that's if weather cooperates. The bridge job I mentioned, we've got until the end of April to get it done, so not super pushed, but the calls are going to keep coming in, and some of those calls will be repeat customers, and I don't like to keep them waiting. So I feel a little pushed, but I'm not going to allow myself to get overwhelmed. I'm just going to tell myself, you know, and you should tell yourself in these situations, I can only do what I can do, and I'm not going to promise more than what I can do, because that's where you get stressed and you put yourself in a little bit of a bad situation, is if you make promises you can't live up to, and that's when people get aggravated and upset. So we're just going to tell people we can get to them as quickly as possible, but we're going to be honest with them. We've got a lot lined up, and it won't hurt our feelings if they have to find somebody else. Very rarely do, I've never had, I don't think, a repeat customer not wait on me just because I'm backed up. Hopefully that's a sign that they like me. So we're going to ease on down the road. We got to get fuel in the excavator, and then we're going to go to Miss Cindy's, get some of the wood cleaned up over there. Got a lot of rain in the forecast, and we've got to go back to that last job because we got the go ahead to bring in 8 loads of road bond, and we don't want to do that when it's wet. So, you know, hopefully the weather sticks with us and we just don't get soaked for a large period of days. So we'll see you guys up at Miss Cindy's. Alright, as usual, I have a thought after I already say I'll see you at the next stop. But grade braking is an important thing to know how to do. You should know how to do it in order to get your CDLs. A lot of people, you know, down in flat country never experience it, and then they go off to drive a truck or something and they're traveling unfamiliar areas. I wish I could tell you guys what grade I'm going down right now, but we're in first gear, so at 3,000 RPMs, which we redline at 4,000, we're running about 15 miles per hour, and you can hear it pick up speed. And when I hit 15 miles per hour, I'm applying a pretty firm brake and to get a steady deceleration down to 10 miles per hour, and then I let completely off the brakes and let it pick back up to 15, and then I hit the brakes. You're wanting to break your momentum, but if you ride your brakes, and it's a long way down off this mountain, if I rode my brakes the whole way, they would overheat, glaze, and we'd be in trouble. We'd be a runaway, more than likely, with this much weight. So, even in the areas that flatten out and I could upshift, I don't. And that gives my brakes a period to really cool off. You know, a lot of people, they get to the flat area and they're like, all right, I'm ready to roll. And they upshift, and in a manual transmission, there is a good chance that you may not get back in the gear, or you lose your gear and you can't find it. This is automatic, but I still treat it like a manual going off these hills. So it's important you don't overheat your brakes. You guys gotta definitely be prepared and educate yourself on grade braking techniques. There's 15, back to 10. I can hear the engine picking up. I'm watching my speeds. I'm not relying on just sound. See, it's holding about 14. There's 15. We're gonna apply a steady brake. And I noticed that the brakes are not getting soft. I'm able to apply the same pedal and get the same brake every time, and that indicates to me that I'm not overusing the brakes and that I'm not overheating them. If you feel like you're a runaway and you're not going to be able to keep braking and make it all the way to the bottom, my opinion, this is what I would do, is I would lock it up, because if you just keep using brakes and letting the drum spin over the pads, you're going to keep heating them up. So if you feel like you're a runaway and you're out of control, stomp it to the floor and lock that sucker up. Ideally, and that's a last resort, I'd release, if I had an air brake trailer, I would release, I would set the brakes on the trailer, and that way it feels like it's more like a parachute. So, and y'all drop in the comments, what would you do in a situation like that? Give us all something to think about. Maybe something I didn't think of. See, we stopped down here at the bottom without any problems. So that's how I do grade braking. That's about all I got to add about that. So we'll go get fuel, get to Miss Cindy's, and get to moving some wood. On site now, and along the L we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dead, rotten, fallen trees that we've got to clean up. She had a tree service come by here, and for some reason they didn't want to fool with those. So we're just going to run up there, do a quick little time lapse of cutting and gathering all these logs. I'm going to bring them over here and just drop them off the bank into that little ditch line, and then I can load them out of there into the truck. Right. So let's get to work. All right, so that only took a couple hours. Went pretty quick. As I worked all of those logs. You saw me working in straight lines. That just keeps from tearing the ground up too much. So I just shuttled all the material to there, shuttled it down to there, and as I worked my way out, I was just kind of scuffing and dressing the ground to help with erosion. So looks like the weather's trying to move in. I'm gonna go ahead and pack this job in and move to the next one, try to get a little bit of road bond on that one, get the tractor moved to it, and then tomorrow or the next day while it's raining and storming, we can easily load this stuff up and make the most out of our time.